Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Paula and today I'm going to teach you how to knit these slippers. They are called Little Red Riding Slippers by Drops Design, and the size is 35 to 42 and the pattern number is EE479. Okay, this is how the slipper, this is how it looks like. So this is a very nice present, and if you start now you'll be able to finish it before Christmas. Okay, so as I said, it's from size 35 to size 42. So these are the sizes here. Okay, so you can have three sizes. There's size 35 to 37, size 38 to 39, and size 40 to 42. Okay, and the pattern is from Drops Design and the pattern number is EE479. Okay, so for these slippers you need 300 grams of yarn in color 08, which is red, and the yarn is called Drop Snow from Garn Studio, which is the same as Drops Design. Okay, and this is their website here, garnstudio.com. Okay, so you will need double pointed needles and straight needles. So I have double pointed needles here, and they are not from Drops, but I've got my own in size 6 millimeters. I think it's US 10. Yeah. So you need these double pointed needles and straight needles. I don't have straight needles, I've got circular needles. So I'm going to be using these needles here. Size 6. Yeah, this is a size 6. I'm going to be using this. And I'll just assemble it. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly assemble the circular needles before I start. I'm going to use a size 6 inches, 8 inches cable. I think I'll start. Do I have another one there? Yeah, I'll use this size. Okay, I'm gonna put all these away. So I got this set from online. This is another good, lovely present as well, Christmas present. So I got it from Timo. So if you want to buy one for your loved ones, please let me know in the chats and I'll give you the link. I don't know if they still have it, but yeah, that's where I got it from, and it's very nice. So it comes with 8 sizes, so from size 3 millimeters to 8 millimeters. Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly assemble it before we start. Okay, while we are waiting for others to join, can you tell me which level you are at? Are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level? Okay. going to put this away. Yeah, so this pattern needs calls for straight needles and double pointed needles, which are also called DPNs. But I don't have the straight needles. I'm using the circular needles and the DPNs. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the pattern. Yeah, so we need the DPNs and the straight needles. I'm using the circular needles, and 6mm. The size should be 6mm, and we also need buttons. So you get from Drop Design's website, you can get everything that you need to make this these slippers. So they will sell the buttons, the needles, the yarn, and I think they also have videos on how to knit the slippers. So if you want to knit this, you can go to Drop Design and check out their website. But here they're recommending drop stack buffalo horn buttons number 536. So you need 6 pieces for that. And then they also give you information on alternative yarn to use, and yeah, it's all on their website. So the pattern starts from here. So you've got the abbreviations here. So garter stitch will be back and forth on needles. So you knit all rows. If you're using a straight needle, you knit all rows, and one ridge will give you 2 rows. One ridge is equal to 2 rows of knitting. And if you're using the if you're knitting in the round, you knit the first round and you purl the next round, and then you repeat, and one ridge is equal to 2 rounds. Okay, there's also a pattern diagram here, which is this part here. So this is a flat panel, and I did a live video a few weeks ago showing you how to do this section, because these slippers, they come in 2 parts. So you've got the leg part and then the foot part, and this is how the slipper looks like. So this is the leg part. So you knit this section first, and it will look like this. And then after that, you knit the foot, and then join the 2 parts together to make your slipper. Okay. So let's get back. Okay, the yarn, I got my yarn from this is not Drop Design. This is Stylecraft chunky yarn. So I'm using Stylecraft chunky yarn. But if you want to get the same measurements as the designer, please buy the recommended yarn. But I'm using Stylecraft chunky yarn. And I bought 3 balls. So I think I'll be left with maybe 1 ball, because there's quite a lot left there. Okay, so DPNs, straight needles. I have circular needles. You also need a tape measure, stitch marker, a scissors, and a counter. You don't have to, this is optional. And your buttons, I got these ones from Hobbycraft, and they are from hemline. They are hemline buttons. I got them from Hobbycraft. I bought 3 boxes because each box has got 2, so I bought 3 boxes because yeah, to get 6 buttons. And then you need your sorry, you will need your tapestry needle to sew the 2 pieces together. Okay, so this is all that you need. So let's start. So today I'm just going to show you how to do this part. If you were not here last time when I did this part, you can go to my channel and you'll find a tutorial on how to knit this the cables, and yeah, I think it was nearly 2 hours. Yeah, I don't have a video tutorial. I plan to do one, but the live was I did everything. I did all the steps to show you how to knit this section. So please go to my channel and look up Little Red riding slippers, and you will find this the tutorial. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to do this part here. So what I've done is I've done the sections, so hopefully the video is not going to be too long. I've done all the sections that we need, so I'll show you how to start, and then I'll show you the next step, and then hopefully we'll be able to finish the foot in less than an hour. Okay, so let's go back to the pattern. So, do we have anyone from the Facebook group, from our group on Facebook? If we have anyone from our Facebook group, please say hi, and please don't hesitate to discuss in the chats if you want to discuss what we are knitting today. You are free to discuss it in the chat section. Okay. So the pattern starts from here. I am knitting the largest size, so I'm going to start with, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see, the pattern starts here. I'm knitting the largest size. I don't know if you remember, I showed you this earlier, that we've got 3 sizes. We've got size 35 to 37, 38 to 39, and 40 to 42. I'm knitting this size, the largest one. So I'm going to cast on. So this is the first size, this is the second one, and this is the third one. So I'm going to cast on 40 stitches. I'm going to do it on circular needles. Here it recommends the double pointed needles, but I'm going to use the circular needles. Okay, so it says cast on 40, work in garter stitch in the round, okay, until piece measures approximately 4 centimeters. Finish after round, after the purl, after purling, then you finish the that part. So this is what I'm talking about, is this section here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to cast on 40, and then using the circular needles, we're going to work in garter stitch until the piece measures 4 centimeters. Yeah. So to cast on, let me take all this off. Okay, I'm going to use this to count the rows, but you don't have to. You can write your You can write your rows down as you go, or you don't need to count the rows anyway because you're going to measure. So I always count my rows just to keep track of my rows. Okay, where's the yarn? I made a nice ball here yesterday. I'll do a video next time to show you how to do a nice ball like this using your hands. So I made this yesterday. I'm going to use that. Okay, so we're going to cast on 40. So to cast on 40, this is how I measure the yarn that I need to leave for the tail. So just take a straight needle and then wrap it around, wrap the yarn around. We want 40, so I'm going to wrap it around 10 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's enough to cast on 10, but we want 40, so I'm going to fold this 4 times to get enough yarn for 40 stitches. Okay, so this should be enough for 40 stitches. So this is how I do it. So we're going to start with a slip knot. Let me show you how to do that. I hope we don't have absolute beginners here, because this is for those with a little experience. Not experience as such, but those who have started knitting already and they know how to knit garter stitch. Okay, so start with a slip knot, and then we're going to use long tail cast on. So just gonna put my finger in there, then my thumb in there like that, and then cast on 40. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Do you have any questions regarding this? Okay, I've lost count. I'll just keep going and then I'll count the stitches. Any questions at all? If you've got any questions regarding this tutorial, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. For those who have just joined us, this is what we are making. Okay. So we are knitting this part here, which looks like this. This is how it looks like. So we're starting from here, and then we'll knit. So we're going to knit we're going to knit 4 centimeters, and then from there I'll show you what to do. So Where are you in your knitting journey? Are you a beginner, intermediate level, or advanced level? Do we have any beginners here? Just raise your hand in the chat so that I know the speed to go at, because I don't want to go too fast and then some of you will not understand what I'm doing. Okay, so sorry, I lost count, so I'm just going to count. We're casting 140, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. So I've got more here. Okay, let me just double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. Okay, so because we are going to work in the, in a circle, I'm going to add one more stitch. You'll see why in a minute. Okay, so I've added another stitch. I'm going to spread the stitches round. Okay, so now we're going to join the circle. So to join, we're going to slip this stitch over this side like that, and then we are going to take this last stitch, slip it over the first one like this. Okay, sorry, it's a bit fiddly. Okay, take the last stitch, slip it over the first one like that. Okay, and then pull to tighten the stitches. Okay, like that. So that's how. So now we don't have that extra stitch because that's the one that we slipped over. So we've got 40 stitches now. Any questions? Do you want me to repeat? Okay, I'll just do it again so that you can all see how to join the circle so that it looks seamless, or so that you don't see the joint. So this is the first stitch, put it back there. Do you have any questions? Okay, first stitch, put it back there. Okay, so these are 40 stitches. We're going to add an extra stitch to make them 41, and then we're going to slip this one, this first stitch, slip it over, then take the last stitch, slip it over the first like that. Oh, it's a bit fiddly. Like that, yeah. And then you pull your tail and your working yarn. You just pull it until you don't have any loose yarn in between there. Okay, so that's done, and then we start row 1. So row 1, we're going to knit all. So we're just going to knit all the stitches. Okay, before I forget, after joining, you put your stitch marker at the beginning of the row. So this is the beginning. Just put your stitch marker there so that you know when you get to the end of the row. So that's where the row starts. So we're going to knit all the stitches until we get back to where the stitch marker is, and that will be end of row 1. I'm using circular needles because DPNs, they're not my I don't like them. I use them, but I don't really like them. They're a bit fiddly, so I bought this set so that I can use it for knitting slippers, socks and all that. I do have the DPNs here, but like I said, they're not my favorite. I don't like them because they're too fiddly. Using circular needles as well, it's a bit fiddly, but I think for me, I think circular needles are better than DPNs. So the first row is a bit tight, that's why you see I'm straining a bit, but to be honest, it's better than DPNs. You can also knit this in using straight needles. Sorry, you can knit these slippers using straight needles, but you have to join the back seam after knitting. So that's why I'm using this one, because I don't have to knit the back of the foot. And this is what I mean. If you're using circular needles, so you have an open here, so after knitting you have to sew it up. But as you can see, on this one I used circular needles and there's no seam. The only seam I'm going to have is this one here at the bottom. Okay, so we at the end of row 1. Do you use DPNs? Do you use which needles do you like? DPNs, straight needles, or circular needles? Which ones do you like? Okay, we are at the end here, so this is the end of the row. We're going to knit the last stitch. Actually, the end is here. Sorry, is where we are here. That's where the end is. I put it on the wrong place. So this is where the row ends. We just tighten that a little bit more and then tie a knot. So that the first stitch doesn't unravel. Okay. No, this is the beginning of the row. Sorry, I should have put it when I joined the circle. Anyway, we are working on the last stitch. So I'm going to knit that one and then slip the stitch marker. Then row 2, we're going to purl all stitches. So we're going to have our yarn to the front, and then we'll start row 2. We're going to purl all stitches. Okay, purl. I'm going to keep showing you what we're working on for those who are joining, so that those who are just joining us will know what we are working on. Okay, so we are working on row 2 and we are purling all we are doing we are purling all the stitches to the end of the row. Okay, and this is what we are working on. We are working on the bottom part, which is this one, and we started from we started from here. So we are working on this row now. This is the row that we are working on. Any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, we'll continue. So we're going to purl all the stitches. What do you think of these live tutorials? Do you prefer video tutorials like pre-recorded ones or the live ones? Because I'm doing these live ones so that if anyone has questions, they can ask me and I can answer them straight away. Do you have any questions? Okay, let me ask a simple question. Where are you watching from? I'm in the UK. Where are you watching from? So that we can get a bit of discussion going on in the chat. You're free to discuss anything in the chat. Not anything. You're free to discuss what we are knitting or anything about knitting. Ask questions. And I'll be happy to answer. Or if others, if we have experienced knitters here, they can also answer your questions. Okay. So we're getting to the end of round 2. It's a purl round, so we've purled all the stitches from the beginning of the row to the end. So how do you know that we are at the end? You know, because of the stitch marker. That's what's guiding you. Okay, so we are at the end of row 2. We're going to slip our stitch marker to the right side and then we're going to start knitting row 3. Okay, so this is garter stitch. So knit all stitches to the end. Okay, this one is a bit fiddly. Okay, knit. Okay, so this is the join. So this is where the stitch marker is here. So you have this, it will look like a join, but it's because we are just changing here from knit to purl, so that's why we have that thing here. Okay, so we are on row 2, and because of the way I was knitting the last row, I have to knit into the back. Yeah, I know this is going to confuse some of you, but you just have to, when knitting, to prevent twisting the stitches, you should look at your stitch structure and then knit in a way that you don't twist the stitches. So because of the way I knitted the last row, my stitches in a way that I have to knit into the back. Because if I try to knit here, it's a bit tricky and I'll be twisting the stitch. So it's very important to know the stitch structure. Okay, so we're knitting. I know some of you will be like, oh, why is she knitting into the back of the stitch? Yeah, it's because of the way I did the pearl. So if I knit into the front foot, it's going to be tricky and I'll be twisting the stitches. Not that it matters. I don't think it does. It matters when you're doing garter stitch, but it's easier to knit into the back if your stitches are like this. How do you knit? Do you knit into the front of into the front foot or the back foot of the stitch? Because I do both. I'm sure you've seen that. I do both, but I just look to see if I'm not twisting the stitches, and then I'll just use the foot that's going to give me the right stitch. Okay, so we are working on round 3 and we are knitting all stitches from the beginning to the end of the round. Okay, so we are at the end of the round. You slip the stitch, you slip the stitch marker, and then you purl all stitches. So we're working on round 4 now. So you keep doing the same. When you get to the end of the row, so we started with knit row, and then when you get to the end, you change to a purl row, and then when you get to the end, or where you get to where the stitch marker is, you switch to the other stitch. So you continue doing this until you have 10. Sorry, I keep saying 10, I don't know why. You keep repeating the same steps until you get 4 centimeters. Okay, I'll show you what it says on the pattern in a minute. So what I did beforehand, I knitted a piece which is 4 centimeters. So I'll show you that in a minute so that we can go to the next stage. Because if I try to knit the whole foot, it would take like 4 hours to do that. So I don't think that would be ideal. Okay, we are purling, we're doing the purling all stitches. Do you have any questions? Is this how you knit? Do you knit the English style or the continental style? Okay, we are at the end of round 4. We're going to slip the stitch marker, and then we'll move the yarn to the back, and then we'll start round 5. Okay, so you continue doing the same until you have 4 centimeters, and this is how the 4 centimeters look like. So like I said, I've done already a piece, so this is 4 centimeters. So we're going to skip the stages so that the video doesn't take too long to, I don't want to have a very long tutorial. Okay, so that's 4 centimeters there. So you continue doing the same, working in the round until you get your 4 centimeters. Okay, and then from here, just going to take these needles off and put them here so that I can show you how to knit the next stage. Okay. Do you have any questions? Like I said earlier, you are free to discuss in the comment section. You can talk about what we are knitting here or knitting in general, or just say hi to each other. Okay, so this is the 4 centimeters, and we are here. This is where we are now. Okay, I'm just going to transfer these stitches to my circular needles. So this is stitch holder. I've used a few stitch holders so that because I've done the stages beforehand, so I've got a few pieces on stitch holders. So this is so I'm doing this live so that you can see that even experienced knitters, they do have issues, not issues, they do have what do you say, it's not like as easy as it is shown online. Like when you do a pre-recorded video, we edit and we take all the bad parts away, but here you can see like how, you know, what's happening. You can see like all the mistakes that I'm doing, and I'm correcting, and yeah, so that's why I'm doing this live, so that you can see that it's not always like just because someone has been knitting for a long time, they just knit an item in without errors or without dropped stitches or without making mistakes. It's just that if you're watching a pre-recorded video, it's all edited, all the bad stuff is edited, as you can see here. I've just dropped 2 stitches there, so I have to be very careful to put them back on. Okay, so that's another stitch. Yeah, because I see in the group most people, they ask, oh, how to pick dropped stitches, what to do if they've skipped a stitch or if they don't have enough stitches. So in these live videos, you can see live like the mistakes that everyone makes, and hopefully that will encourage you to continue your knitting journey. Okay, just that it's easier for me to do some of like corrections because I've been doing this for years, so it's very easy. And practice expect if you practice every day, not every day, but if you practice, you will end up knowing how to do it. Okay, there's the split stitch there. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that you couldn't see what I was doing. Someone should have said something. That's why I keep asking questions. Can you see what I'm doing? Because I didn't know that my hands were under the chart. So I'm sure most of you couldn't see what I was doing. But anyway, I've transferred all the stitches to circular needles. So as I said, we are here, and now we're going to separate so that we can make the top part, so that we can knit this section here of the leg. Okay, so we've done this part. We did a cast on of 40 stitches using 6mm needles, and we've worked in garter until approximately 4 centimeters, and finish after the pearl round. So I just want to see which round we are here. So this is the knit round, so we're going to pearl one round, and then we'll start the front of the foot. Okay, so we're going to put our stitch marker back here. No, I'm facing the wrong way. See? Okay, yeah, so I think we are on the right row. Okay, so we finished with the pearl row, so we're going to start the front piece of the foot. Okay, so to do the front piece, we're going to leave the first 9. So remember, we've got three sizes. I'm working on the last one. So for the front of the foot, we're going to knit, if you're doing the first size, leave the first 9. If you're doing the second size, 11. If you're doing the third, 11. So I'm going to leave 11 stitches. So keep the first 11 stitches on the round on the needle. Slip the remaining 27. So if you're doing the first stitch, the first size, 27 if you're doing the second, and then 29 if you're doing the last one. So I'm going to keep the first 11 and then slip the remaining 29 onto a stitch holder. Okay, so I think I should have just slipped the 11 but anyway, so we're going to keep the first 9. So this is the beginning of the row. So I'm going to knit 9, pearl 9, because it just says keep the first 11. It doesn't say slip the first 11. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my DPNs, because I think here we're going to need straight needles, or we can use your DPNs. So we're going to slip 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we're going to keep these 11 on the DPN, and I'm going to slip these back onto no, I'm not going to slip them. Remember, I've got these bits here, so I'm not going to use the stitch holder. I'm going to use these stoppers from my kit here. Yeah, this is where these come handy. I'm going to use this to keep the other needles on the other stitches on the needle, on the cord. Okay. I'm going to use this too. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to improvise. If you don't have the stitch holders and you have the circular needles, you can just use the stoppers to keep the stitches on the cord while you knit the section that you want to knit. Sorry, this is a bit fiddly. Like I said, you don't get to see all this when we're doing when it's just a video, a pre-recorded video. You don't get to see all this. Okay, I'm just gonna take this off and then I'll put this stopper here. Okay, then we'll do the same on this side. Take this off. Yeah, this was a bit loose, so okay, and then you put another stopper here. So this will keep the stitches secure while I knit the front of the foot. Okay. So now I'm going to use the DPNs just to knit a straight, using them as straight needles. Yeah. So we are on the purl row. We're going to knit all these stitches. So I'm going to follow the pattern. Okay. Continue in garter stitch back and forth over the 11 stitches. At the same time, on the first row, cast on one new stitch in each side, okay, on the edges, so that you end up with these stitches. So row 1, we're going to add 2 stitches on the edge on each side, and I'll have 13 stitches. So I'm going to add a stitch here. I'm going to knit front and back to add a stitch, to add 1 stitch at the beginning of the row. Sorry, these are in the way. So knit 1, then knit into the back of that stitch. So we've just added a stitch here. Okay, and then we will continue knitting all the stitches to the end. So that's, yeah. I wish I could do a video knitting the whole slippers from beginning to end, but that would take like 24 hours to do. So that's why I've done the stages, so that you can see, you can have an idea of how to knit your slippers. Okay, so we are at the end here. We are going to just get this one out of the way. So we're at the end, last stitch, and we are going to knit front and back to make an increase. 1 and 2. Okay, so now we have 13 stitches. Okay, any questions? Okay, let me just move this down a bit, because I've realized that my hands are under the chart, so I'm sure most people couldn't see what I was doing. Okay, I hope that's better now. Okay, so we've got 13 stitches on the needle. We're going to turn our work, and then we're going to knit all stitches from the beginning to the end. So we have 13 stitches. We're going to continue knitting until we get 10 centimeters. So we just knit and then turn, knit and turn. So we'll continue repeating the same steps until we get to the next stage. So let me just knit a few rows and then I'll show you. Then we'll skip to the next stage. So knit and knit. Okay, then turn, then knit, so we are knitting all rows, and this is what is called garter stitch. Can you all see what I'm doing? Because I think I'm going off the camera of the just that everyone is so quiet, so I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or you can hear me. But anyway, I'll just carry on, and hopefully someone is going to get value out of this tutorial or out of this live session. Okay, so we are on the next row. So remember what it says, 2 rows is 1 ridge. So we've got 2, 4. So 1 ridge is this one, and this is the next one. So every ridge is 2 rows. But here we're not using the rows, and I said I was going to use this, so I totally forgot about this. But anyway, I don't need it because I'm using measurements, not rows. So, but if you want to use the row counter, if you have one, you can use it. But in this pattern, we are using centimeters. We are using measurements, so I don't think there's a need for the row counter. Oh, good morning. Morning from Florida. How are you? Oh, thank you. Thank you. At least now I know people can hear me, because I thought I was just talking to myself. Thank you so much for letting me know that you can hear me. Okay, so we turn and then knit again, knit this row. So we continue knitting until we have 10 centimeters. Yeah, so when piece measures 10 centimeters, cast off one edge, cast off one edge stitch in each side. Okay, yeah, so we still have, like, this is 2 centimeters. So I'll knit another 2 rows and then I'll show you the next step, because I've got a piece that's which I knitted beforehand, which is 10 centimeters already. So I'll skip to that stage so that I can show you how to pick stitches and work on the bottom part of the slippers. Okay, so this part is very easy. You just knit all the rows. And you knit all until you have 10 centimeters. I'm just going to knit 1 more rows and then I'll show you the next stage. So the yarn I'm using is from Stylecraft, and it's called it's Stylecraft, and it's chunky yarn. The color, I think the color is lipstick, I think, if I remember, because I don't have the label with me, but I think it's lipstick. Yeah, chunky yarn from Stylecraft, color lipstick, or you can just look for a red color there. I got it from Lovecraft online. Yeah, okay, so we are working on this section here. This is what we are working on this part here, only this part up to here, and this is what it looks like. So this is the one that I've done earlier, and all the stitches are not on the thingy. Don't want to drop any stitches. Okay, so I'm going to get another needle so that I can start picking stitches from the sides. Okay, so this should be 10 centimeters. Yeah, 10 centimeters. And okay, let me just put this before I drop the stitches. Let me just put these ones back onto the needle. Then we can, and remember, learn the stitch structure so that you don't twist the stitches, because if you learn the stitch structure, you will never twist your stitches. So you can drop your stitches, pick them up in any order, in any way, but if you know the structure, you'll be able to knit it the correct way. Okay, so these are 13 stitches. Still got 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay, so the next stage says when piece measures 8, oh, that doesn't make sense. Okay, when the for the first size, when the piece measures 7 centimeters, you start you make a decrease of 2. But if you're making the second size, the piece should measure 8.5 centimeters. and I'm making the large size, so my piece measures 10 centimeters. So I showed you the 10 centimeters already, sorry I'm repeating it again. Okay, 10 centimeters, and then from here I'm going to reduce by 2 so that I'm left with 11 stitches on the needle. Okay, so we remember when we started this, from when we started here, we increased by 1 on both sides. So here we're going to make a decrease of 1. Okay, so to do that, we're going to knit 2 together, the first 2 together like this. Knit 2 together and then knit the rest of the stitches. Knit the rest of the stitches. I'm going to put all the instructions in our group on Facebook, and we're going to do it as a knit along if anyone is interested. This will be a very nice Christmas present. Okay, so we're at the end. We're going to knit 2 together. Okay, these are plastic needles, so that's why they're making that noise. Okay, knit 2 together. Okay, it's official that I don't like DPNs and I don't like plastic needles. Okay, so we are left with 11 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and we are here. So if you go on to Drop Design website and look for little red riding slippers, you'll find all these instructions that I'm showing you. It's a free pattern. It's a free pattern from Drop Design, and the pattern number is EE479. Okay, so we are here. We've just reduced the stitches to 11. So for those who are working on the first one, you will have 9, second 11, and the last one 11. Okay, then slip the stitches from the stitch holder back onto a needle and pick up 12. Yeah, I know this is a bit complicated, especially for beginners, so bear with me. Okay, if you're a beginner, send me a message and I'll be happy to help you. Okay, so when then slip the stitches back from the stitch holder back onto a needle and then pick up 12. If you're working on the first one, pick up 14, and I'm going to pick up 16. Okay, on each side. So on this side here, that's what they are referring to. Okay. So yeah, I think it's a bit confusing because I'm skipping stages. So on this one I had this one and I left the stitches on the needle here, but this one I had done before and I've got the needles on the stitch holder. So yeah, sorry, I know it's going to confuse you even further, but I thought I was going to make it I thought I was making it easy by doing that, but it seems like it's even more confusing. But anyway, I have another cord here from my set. I'm going to attach the needles. Oh, I'm streaming from the UK. I'm in UK. Oh, okay. Here it's 12 minutes past 1, and it's raining outside. It's a miserable day today. It's raining, cloudy and raining. Okay, okay, so I've joined this back on, and I'm using, if you're using deep ends, you don't need to worry about this, but if you're using circular needles, you can use a size, you do them in inches, a cord size, 11, yeah, 11 inches to do this next stage. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this back onto the needles. Sorry about the background noise. That's the boiler. I think someone is having a shower or something, so sorry about the noise. I hope it's not too loud. Okay, I'm just transferring this back onto the needle. And when you're doing this, just be careful not to split the stitches, because it can be easily done when you are transferring stitches. Okay. So these are 20, you know, the 29 stitches, which we left on the needle. We left on this needle, these 29 stitches. So these are the stitches. So we've put them back on another needle so that we can start the sides. We can start working on the sides of the slipper. Okay. That boiler is on again. Okay, so we're going to pick stitches from here. So our yarn is over here, but we are going to pick stitches from this side here and pick from this side as well here using these needles. Yeah. Hold on, let me just see if I can see what's going on there. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so we're going to start joining the sides. And as I said, we're going to pick. I hope we'll be able to pick enough. 16 stitches on each side. Sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't think I'll be able to pick 16, but let's see how it goes. So I'm going to pick one from here. Because when you're picking stitches, just do it as neatly as possible so that you don't end up with holes. Okay, so that's 1, 2. What I normally do, I just pick from the rows. So I don't think I'm going to have 16, but let's see. Maybe I can pick one from here. No, pick one from here. And the thing with patterns, they don't tell you how to pick the stitches. They'll just say pick stitches, but they don't say how you should do it. They don't tell you how to do it. So, okay, so this is how I do it. Okay, so just start again. So I've picked one from here, from where the seam is here. I'm going to pick another one from the first ridge, and then another one here. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm picking from each ridge, so from after every two rows. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I don't know if I can pick another one there. No. So I've got 15 only. And I think that will do, because you can have 16, but I don't think that will make a lot of difference if I have 15. Well, let me go back and pick another one from there. Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing with patterns. I wish they could just put a diagram or a picture to say pick from here and there and there and there. But all patterns, most of them, they will just say pick stitches, but they don't tell you how. Okay, so we're going to pick from here. We want one more stitch, so we're picking from here, and then maybe pick one from here. Going to be a bit tight, but we just need one more stitch. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. If you're a beginner, we just want you to know that even experienced knitters, they do struggle, especially if the instructions are not straightforward. Okay, I'm going to pick one from there, and I hope it's going to look neat. Okay, so that's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I still have 15. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm just going to make up another one here if I can. No. I thought I picked an extra one here. Sorry, bear with me. We'll get it right. Okay. So that's 1. 1. Guess we have to pick another one from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Still getting 15. 15. Okay, picked one from. So 1. You have to pick an extra stitch somewhere. 2. I think I'm still going into the same stitches. 2. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have 15, which is okay because I've done another one already and it fits fine. So okay, 2. I think I'm going to have 15 and I think it's okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have a hole there now. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I even have less. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So another way to have the 16 is to work another row. You can do another row going that way. So that we can have another space to have 16 stitches on the side. Or if you can find another space to pick the extra stitch, you can do so. So I'm just knitting to the other side so that I'll have the 16th stitch. Okay. I still don't have that stitch, so I'm just going to work with 15. Yeah. Okay, so I've picked 15 on this side, so I'm going to pick 15 on the other side as well. Or if I can manage 16, then I'll pick 16 on this side. Okay, start from here, pick 1, then we go here, 2, 3. Hope you can see where I'm picking the stitches from. I'm picking from the edge here, so it's every second row. That's where I'm picking the stitches from. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, let me count again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I can add an extra stitch here, because if I don't, there will be a gap here. So I'm going to go back and pick a stitch from here so that we'll have the 16 stitches on this side. Okay, so that's 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, 15, 16. Yeah, we managed to have 16 on this side. Okay. Yeah, and we have 15 on this side, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I don't think it will show. It won't show. Or we can add another extra stitch as we work on this side. We can add that one extra stitch to make them 16. Okay. So from here, we've picked the stitches. So we should have a total of 60 for the first side, 66 for the next one, and 72 for the next size. Okay, so I should have a total of 72 stitches on my needles. Now measure piece from here. So we're going to start measuring from here. From here, we're going to start measuring from here. Insert one stitch marker mid front of toe and one marker mid back on heel. So one marker mid front. So we're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So they said mid front. We've got 11 stitches. It was going to be easy to have a middle if we had 12 stitches. Okay, we're going to insert the marker here where in the middle as stated in the pattern. So 2, 4, no, 5 here. Okay, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. So this is the middle, and then we're going to put another marker, stitch marker at the back. I think the best way of doing this is to, because I've got 72 stitches, so I'll just divide 72 by 2 and then count stitches from here, from where I put the marker here to the back, and then that's how I'm going to find the back of the mid back on heel, back of the heel. So (72) divided by 2. What is 72 divided by 2? 36. Yeah, I'm looking for another marker. So I'm just looking for another marker. Okay, got it. Sorry. yeah, this is where I keep my hooks and some of my needles. How do you sew your needles? Sorry, I'll be back quickly in a minute. Oh dear. I hope you are getting, you are learning something from this video, because that's the whole purpose of me doing this. I hope you're learning something, and I'm sure now you can see that we all not struggle, we all learning, and we don't always get it right. We all don't always get it right. So if you're a beginner, I hope this will encourage you to keep going. Okay, so I'm going to count 36, and then I'll put another stitch marker here. That's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Okay, so this is the back. I'm going to put another stitch marker here. Okay, so to recap, after working on the 13 stitches until you have 10 centimeters, you pick stitches from the side. So remember, you would have stitches on the stitch holder, so you pick extra stitches from the sides, so 16 on each side, and then after that you place a stitch marker in the middle of the front and the middle of the back, and then from there you measure from here. So you start working in the round, but when you measure 2 centimeters. So you work 2 centimeters from where we are here. I hope that makes sense. Or maybe I've lost you. I've lost all of you. Okay, so we are here. We're going to work in the round, and we're going to work 2 more centimeters from where we are. So we're going to work 2 centimeters from here. So we're going to make 2 more rows. I don't know how many rows that will be, but after working a few more rows, we measure 2 centimeters, and then we go on to the next stage. Yeah. And when you're working your rounds, you just keep the stitch markers where they are, so that you can remember where to, because I think that's where the decrease is. We're going to decrease on the front and the back. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to just knit. We're going to put another extra stitch marker here as well to start to measure, to know where to start from. So this is where we're going to start our first round. So we're going to put a stitch marker here, and then we're going to knit. Okay, I've got a split stitch here. Okay, so we're going to knit from here. So I can imagine if if a beginner is doing this, they will never be able to work it out, because if I am having issues, then you can imagine. So I wouldn't recommend this pattern for beginners. If you're a beginner, I would not recommend this. You can, you know, go for it, but it's not straightforward. And the instructions, I wish they had diagrams, pictures to show you where to pick the stitches, because I think it's very important to have those sections in there to make it easier to read the pattern. Okay, so we are on this side now. We're going to knit the 15 stitches. Remember, on this side we have only 15, so we're going to knit all those stitches. I'll do a tutorial where I'll just do the stages. I think that one will be clear, will be more clearer than this. Well, this is live, so you can see all the mistakes that I'm making and all that, but I'll do a tutorial so that you can, hopefully it will be easier to understand, because I'll skip all these. You won't see all these, you know, mistakes that I'm making in the tutorial. Okay, so for those who want to see what we are making, this is what we are making. For those who just joined us, I don't know if we have new people here, but this is what we are making. We are making the foot part of this slipper here, slippers. So we have made one already. So we're making this part here, and now we started from here. Then we made this part, and now we're joining these sides here to work in the round. Okay, so we're knitting all the picked stitches. Okay, we're here. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Anyone? Okay, so we've knitted all the picked stitches, and now we're going to go on to the back stitches. Okay. So here we're just knitting all the stitches until we get to the beginning of the row. Okay, do you have any questions while I knit this row? Can we keep the discussions going in the chat box? If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, so we're knitting the picked stitches on the side, on the other side of the leg or of the foot. Oh, I've run out of yarn. Okay, so this is a good opportunity for me to teach you how to join yarn. So I'll teach you how I do it. Okay, I'm just going to go back a bit so that I'll have enough yarn to use so that I can join the yarn. Okay. Okay, so we're going to join another yarn, another ball. Okay, because I've run out of yarn. Okay, so this is how I do it. You get your 2 strands like this. Yeah. Then you take 1 strand, wrap it around your finger like this, and wrap it around again like this, and then in front of the 2 strands like this, and then you fold these 2 ends like this, then you pull. Okay, it's a bit lumpy. And then you cut here, just tidy up a bit. It's too lumpy. Okay, let me do it again for you. Okay, you take the 2 strands like this. Take this one, wrap it around like this, then wrap it around again like this, and then in front of the 2 strands, then you fold this like this, and then you pull. Okay, that's better. Okay, then you cut this. Okay. If you want to know how to join yarn, I've got other videos on my channel, so you can go and watch those if you want a more detailed video on how to join yarn. I've got a few methods of how to join yarn. Sorry, I'm doing continental. Okay. Yeah, when I'm knitting, I do both. I use continental and English knitting. So if you want to learn how to do continental knitting, let me know and I'll be happy to teach you. Okay, so we're still working on the side of the slipper, and that's the join. As you can see, you can hardly see it, but that's where it is. There. Okay. We are working on the last few picked stitches before we start the next round. Okay, so this is the beginning of the round, so we slip this stitch marker to the other side and we start round 2. So round 2, we're going to purl all stitches. So yarn to the front, then you purl all the stitches. Sorry, it's a bit tight here. Can't believe I started this live at 12 UK time, GMT. It's nearly 2 hours now, and I thought it was going to take less than an hour. So yeah, I thought it was going to be straightforward because I had done the other pieces so that you can see all the stages, but here you go. Okay, so we're working on row 2. Remember, we are going to knit 2 centimeters before we go to the next stage. So 2 centimeters from here. So this is row number 2. So I don't know how many rows we are going to need to make 2 centimeters, but I don't think it's going to be more than four rows. Maybe 4, 5. We'll see. So I don't know if I should carry on with this until we have 2 rows, or I can just show you how to make the decrease. I think what I'll do is when I get to the end of this row, we'll just I'll show you the next stage so that we don't waste more time. But remember, after picking the stitches, you should work 2 centimeters before you start the decrease to shape the foot. But here I'm just going to show you how to do it after this row so that we don't waste this time. I'll show you how to do the decreases, and then I'll show you the last stage, because I've got another piece ready to show you how to sew the seam at the bottom of the foot. Okay. I can't believe it's 2 hours, honestly. It feels like 30 minutes since I started, but yeah, I've been here for nearly 2 hours now. So I think it's time to wrap this up. So after this row, I will show you how to make the decrease. I don't know if there's another easier way for me to show this, because I really want to teach people how to do this, but from today's experience, I don't think I did a good job. So I want to find another way of teaching you how to do this. So if there are any other ways that I can teach you how to knit these slippers, please let me know. You can comment in the chat, or you can leave a comment in the actual video. I think what we should do is maybe do it in sections. Do one part and then have another live to do the next part, and it will be sort of like a knit along. Okay, so we're at the end of the row. We're going to slip the stitch marker to the other side. So this is how it looks like. So I'm going to show you the next stitch, and then I'll show you how to sew the bottom part. So the next stage, after working the 2 centimeters from here, so after you have knitted your 2 centimeters from here, so we're just going to assume that we've knitted the 2 centimeters. You start your decrease. Okay. When the piece measures 2 centimeters, knit 2 stitches together on each side of every marker, on every row, on every other row. Yeah. So on this row, let's say we have 2 centimeters from here. We've knitted 2 centimeters. We're going to knit 2 together on each side of the stitch marker. Okay, so we're going to knit this okay, sorry, we have to remember that our row starts from here, so we're going to knit this to where the next stitch marker is. Okay, and then knit 2 together. So because the stitches are facing the other way, we're going to slip and then knit. So knit 2 together. Okay, and then we slip the stitch marker and then knit 2 together. Okay, and then continue knitting until you get to the next stitch marker. Okay, I'm going to use the continental style so that I can knit faster, so that I can get to the next stitch. I don't want to spend 3 hours on here. I think next time I think I'll just do stages. Do one stage and then do the next stage in another live, and Yeah, I think that would be much better than trying to do all the steps, all the stages in one video, because I'm sure majority of you are lost and some of you have given up already. But it's very easy. All this is very easy. Like I always say, I wish there was a way for us to meet in person so that we can do this, but for now I think we just have to do it online, and then maybe in the near future organize something, organize a festival, something, so that we can meet and sit down and knit together. Okay, we are at the other end. We are left with 2 stitches. So remember the stitch structure, because the stitches are facing the other way. I'm going to slip, then return the stitches back to that stitch, and then knit. Okay, knit 2 together. That's also referred to, I think it's SSK. Okay, so here we're going to knit 2 together, because these are facing that way, so it's okay. We're going to knit 2 together, and then knit the rest of the stitches until you get to the end of the row. So on this, on our work, we've got 3 stitch markers. 2 stitch markers are marking the middle of the heel and the middle of the front, the toes, and then the other stitch marker is marking where you start your row, or where you start your work, where you start your rows, sorry, or your rounds, because we are working in rounds. So the other stitch marker is showing where you start your round, and the other 2 are where you're doing the decrease. Yeah. Okay, so here I'm using continental knitting because I'm trying to do it faster so that we can get to the next stage. Okay, we are at the end of the round, of the first decrease round. Okay, slip your stitch marker, and then we're going to purl the next round. Okay, purl until you get to the next stitch marker, and then knit 2 together. Okay, so the stitch marker is here. Before the stitch marker, we're going to knit 2 together. So yeah, we're going to knit 2 together like that. So, oh sorry, we are purling, so we're going to purl 2 together, sorry. So we're increasing by 1 on each side of the stitch marker. So knit, purl 2 together, and then purl 2 together. Sorry, I guess I'm tired now. On this round, we are not going to do anything. We are just going to knit. We're going to purl until we get to the end of the round. Sorry, because that's what it says here. Continue continue the round in garter stitch. When piece measures 2 centimeters, knit 2 together on each side of every marker on every other row. Yeah, so on every other row. So we decreased on the first row, so this row we're just going to knit without decreasing. We're going to purl without decreasing. Okay, let me show you what we are working on, because I'm sure I've totally confused most of you now. This would have been easier if we were doing it one-to-one. Okay, so this is where we are. We are making these decreases. This is what we're doing. So we've got a stitch marker here. So before the stitch marker, you knit 2 together, and then after the stitch marker, you knit 2 together. and then you do the round. On the next round you don't do any decrease, and then on the next one you do 2 before the stitch marker. You need 2 together, and then after the stitch marker you need 2 together. So that's what we're doing. So we are here. So this is where the stitch marker is. Okay, I hope that's clear. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. So we're going to continue with the round until we get to the end, and then I'll show you how to do the next decrease. And then after that, okay, I'm doing continental again so that we get to the end of the round quicker. And then after that I'll show you how to finish off the slipper. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a proper tutorial just to show the stages, because this I thought it was going to be easy to do a live where the viewers will be asking questions and I'll be answering. But or maybe I think what I should do is look for someone, a guest who I can teach online. I think that way it will be better. I don't know. Does anyone wants to be a guest, my guest, so that I can teach you online, so that you know it will be easier to show people how to do it. Okay, so this is continental knitting. Sorry for those who don't do not continental. I'm just trying to be quick so that we can get to the next stage. Okay, so slip this one. Remember, on this row we are not making any decrease. We're purling all the stitches. So purl all the stitches until the end of the round. And remember, the end of the round is marked by a stitch marker as well. And for a yellow stitch marker at the end of this round. And the decrease, all the decreases are marked with a pink stitch marker. Yeah, I thought I could do this in less than an hour, but it's more than 2 hours now. So I think I'm just going to do this bit and then I'll show you the end. Okay, so we are at the end of this round. I'm going to purl this one, slip the stitch marker, and then knit the next 3 stitches. One, 2, 3, then knit 2 together. Yeah, this is definitely not for beginners. If you're a beginner, I think it will be, if you're a beginner, you need someone like, you know, face to face, one-to-one to teach you. So slip the stitch marker and then knit 2. I think this is for intermediate level. Okay, Okay, so you continue doing the same. So one round you decrease, and the next round you don't, you just knit without making a decrease, and you continue doing the same until you get here, until you get to where I am. Do you measure it? Until you have 6 centimeters from cast off edge. Okay, so you continue doing the same, continue decreasing where the stitch markers are, and you start your round where this stitch marker is. You decrease here until you have something like this. You should measure 4 centimeters from cast off. So from here to from the 2 centimeters, remember we had 2 centimeters. Remember we had 2 centimeters, we needed 2 centimeters there. Then from here, from the 2 centimeters, you should have another 4 centimeters. Okay, you knit another 4 centimeters, and then you cast off. Yeah, I thought that was going to be easy, but yeah, I apologize for those who were following from the beginning. But if you want to learn how to do this, let me know, and I'll be happy to teach you, because it's very easy. It's very easy. It's not difficult at all. If you want to do a one-to-one with me, contact me through Instagram. You can send a message there, or you can send me a direct message on Messenger, or you can comment in the chat, and I'll be happy to do a one-to-one with anyone who wants to knit these slippers. They are very easy, but it's not easy to teach online live, because I thought it was going to be easy, but no, it's not. And I'm not getting any feedback as well, so I don't know whether you can understand me or you don't. I know one person said that they could hear me, but that was like 2 hours ago. It was early morning. I don't know if she's still here, but the rest, I don't know if you can hear me or not. But anyway, this is what you end up with, and then from here you transfer the stitches. So your stitches will be already on the needle, but I put them on the stitch holder so that I can use this as for demonstration. So I'm just going to put this back onto the onto the needles, and then I'll cast off, and I'll show you how to sew the seam. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Is anyone in the UK? Is anyone watching from the UK? Where are you watching from? Okay, we're transferring all the stitches to a stitch hole, to our needles, and then we'll cast off, and then after casting off we will sew the bottom seam, and that will be the end of this bit here of the foot. Oh, it's getting darker here, it's raining, so I don't know if you can still see what I'm doing, but it's only after 2, but it's getting dark already outside. And I'm using natural light, so maybe I'll have to switch on the lights or something. Okay, I've transferred all the stitches, they're back on the needle. Okay, so we're going to cast off. That is if I have enough yarn to do that. So to cast off, we're going to start from here. Yeah. So I'm going to knit 1, then knit this next one, and then slip the first one over the second stitch like this. Okay, then knit the next one, and then slip this one over that one, knit the next one, I really want to teach you how to do this, but I really don't know how we can do that, because this is very easy. Anyone can knit this. Okay, so we are casting off, as you can see here. So we've done a few stitches there, so continue doing the same until we get to the end. If you have any suggestions, let me know so that I can organize something, maybe a few people, maybe 10 people, to teach how to knit this online, or if we can do a one-to-one, I'll be happy to do that. If you have not already subscribed, please do subscribe so that you'll be notified every time I upload a video, or every time I am on live. You can also share to your family and friends, because the more the merrier. I'll put this on our group, in our Facebook group, so that we can do it together as a group. I think it would be fun that way, and I'll be here to answer all your questions. I'll be here to guide you until you can knit a pair, either for yourself or for a loved one. Do you have any questions? Any questions? What would you like to see next? Maybe I'm showing you, maybe I'm teaching you things that you're not interested in. So let me know what you are interested in, and then I'll see if I can do tutorials for that. Any questions? No? Okay, for those who are just joining us, we are knitting slippers from Drops Design. They are called Little Red Riding Slippers, and the pattern number is called EE479, and this is how the finished product look like. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, this is how the finished product look like. So for the past 3 hours we've been doing the bottom bit. If you want to see the other the part, like the top part, this part, which looks like this, please go to my channel and search for Little Red Riding Slippers, and you see the live video that I did showing you how to knit the panel for the leg. Today I was doing today we are doing the foot, which is not as straightforward as I thought it would be. So, but I hope you all learned something. I really truly hope that someone, you know, learned something from this live. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to assist you, to help you. Not only with this, but with anything regarding knitting. If you want to learn, like if you're an absolute beginner and want to learn how to start knitting, contact me and I'll be happy to help you. Okay, we've got just a few stitches left. I think I lost a few people when I was doing the continental knitting. A lot of people just dropped off, so I guess most people don't like it. But it is quite handy when you want to knit something fast. So all those who are interested in knitting continental style, let me know, and I will be happy. Also, I'll be happy to teach you. Don't know if I have enough yarn to finish this. Might have to join more yarn. Okay, yeah, I think I'll need more. Okay, that's another opportunity to teach you how to join the yarn. I think I'll just need a small piece. Okay, so this is how I join yarn, because this is not enough to finish this cast off, so I'm going to join the yarn. So we just put the two strands together like this. Then you wrap it around your finger like this. Wrap it around once, twice, then slip it between your finger and the two strands, and then fold these two ends. Fold the ends like this, and then you pull this end. Okay, that's a very strong, secure knot there. Okay, so let's continue. So you've got your knot there. That's the way I normally tie join yarn. Just tie a knot like that, and then continue knitting. Yeah, I think next time I'll look for someone to teach. I think it will be more interactive that way, because at least if there's someone else talking and they're asking questions, then I think it will be better. So if anyone wants to learn online, and if they want to do a live video with me, let me know. Send me a message and I can arrange that. I can teach you how to knit. If you're an absolute beginner, I'll teach you how to knit from start, and then up to where you can knit these slippers, because it doesn't take time, because this is only garter stitch. That's all it is. It's garter stitch, so it's not difficult. Okay, so as I said, I'm streaming from the UK. So if anyone is in the UK and they want to learn how to do this in person, you can contact me as well, and we can arrange to do that. And I'm also happy to teach online. Doesn't matter wherever you are, whichever part of the country you are, I'll be happy to teach you. Just send me a message and I will teach you how to knit or crochet, because I crochet as well. Okay, we are done. Okay, so we're done with the cast off, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so from here we're going to measure the amount of yarn that we need to sew the foot. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to put 3, but I think 2 strands, 2 rows of yarn will be enough, but I'm going to put 3 just to be on the safe side, because I don't want to join again the yarn while I'm sewing it. So yeah, so this yarn should be enough to join this part. So this is the part that we're doing now. We're doing this part, the bottom bit. So I'm going to use my tapestry needle to do that. So after, on the last stitch, you just make another stitch like that, another chain, and then you pull the yarn to secure it. Okay, so that's secure now. Then we're going to sew the bottom. Honestly, I can't believe that it's more than 2 hours. Nearly 2.5 hours now. Okay, so I'm just going to put it inside out and then sew the bottom. So this is how I do it. Just go to the first stitch on the other side there, and this is the stitch. So we're going to the outer loop of the stitch. So go in there and then come back here, outer loop, that, go back to the other side, the loop on the other side there, that one, and come back to this side, and then do the same. So we continue doing the same until we get to the end, and that will be it. This is very easy. Most people struggle with sewing the seams, but it's not difficult at all if you know how to do it. And okay, so just gonna pull like that. Okay. We're going to continue doing the same. Here we are on, that's the last one. Okay, so all those who were here from the beginning, did you learn something? I know it was too long. I thought it was going to be less than an hour, but it wasn't as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. And this is not my pattern. The pattern is from Drops Design. It's called Little Red Riding Slippers by Drops Design, and pattern number is EE479. So if you go to Drops Design website and look for Little Red Riding Slippers, pattern number EE479, you get a free pattern. The pattern is free. They've got loads of free patterns on their website, so if you want any free pattern, they have knitting patterns, crochet patterns, they have cardigans for adults, children, and all the patterns are free. Okay. Do you have any questions? Or do you have any requests? Do you want me to teach you how to do to knit a cardigan or a hat, or do you have any particular patterns that you want to learn? Okay, we're almost there. So what we're doing here, we're just going into these stitches here, into the back loop of each stitch on each side to sew the two sides pieces together. Okay. We're almost there. That's it. Okay, that's done. So I'm just gonna pull this, then loosen it up a bit. Okay, and then from here, we're just going to secure the loose ends, weave them in as neatly as possible. So this is the wrong side, so you can just weave them in to the sides like this. So you just weave in the loose end until you feel that it's secure, and then you just cut it off. Then you do the same to the other one. Yeah, so on the live you get to see all the errors that we make, all the, you know, mistakes, dropped stitches and all that. So this is the bottom part, which is this one here. This is how it looks like. And we have this top part. I did this a few weeks ago, so if you want to learn how to knit the cables, you can go to that live video that I did a few weeks ago. And this is the pattern, the instructions from the pattern. It looks like this. This is how the pattern looks like. So in that video I did step-by-step instructions. I read all the instructions, and I showed every tricks, and I shared all the tips that you need to knit these cables. Okay, so this is how it looks like. This, when you're reading the pattern, this is the front of the pattern, so this is the end result. So you knit this part first, and then you knit this, and then join the two together like this. So you don't sew this part here, you just sew it to the foot part. So this is the leg part. You sew the leg part to the foot part like this. Put one on top of the other. This is the edges. Put one on top of the other, and then you use your buttons. I got these ones from Hobbycraft, and they are hemline buttons. So I've got 3 of them. So I'll put one here. So each box has 2 buttons, so you have to buy 3 boxes. But if you want to buy the buttons from Drops Design, you can find the buttons on their website. Okay, so this is how the end result will look like. This is the one I've done already. So this is how the slippers will look like. Oh, that was not easy. Hopefully someone learned something. Is there an easier way, or a more, I don't know, because I don't know if anyone managed to learn anything from this live. I tried to make it, to simplify it as much as I could, but it wasn't, I can tell that it wasn't clear. So if you want to learn how to make these slippers, you can contact me on my socials, on Instagram, Facebook, or on here on YouTube. You can leave a message under in this video, on the chat. You can leave a message there. I'll be happy to teach you how to knit these slippers. But what I would say is these are not for beginners. If you're a beginner, you have to learn the basic stitches first before you can knit this. But it doesn't take time. I think even a beginner, within a week, if they are serious, they can make these slippers. And I think this will be a very good present for your loved ones, or you can make a pair for yourself. Though, yeah, they are nice and cozy, so, and warm as well. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll be happy to come back and teach you how to knit these slippers, or knit a hat, or a blanket or anything of your choice. I'll be happy to teach you how to do that. So contact me and let me know what you would want me to teach you next time. Yeah, I guess that's all for today. I will see you again next time. If you've got any questions, you can still ask in the comment section and I will reply to your comments. Okay, bye.